6 compliments that make women fall for you. Psychology explained, psychology tricks. Love is not about finding the perfect person. It's about seeing an imperfect person perfectly. Sam can picture this for a moment. You're standing in front of her, not trying to impress, not chasing, not forcing anything, just talking. And yet, in that space between your words, something happens. She feels something. She can't describe it, but her mind lingers on it. Most men never understand why a woman remembers a voice more than a jawline, a sentence more than a compliment. Because attraction rarely begins with how you look, it begins with how deeply she feels seen. If you're new here, hit subscribe because what you'll learn today isn't basic dating advice. This is emotional precision, psychological influence, and the subtle skill of leaving a mark on her heart, not just her ears. Here's the reality. Women have heard thousands of recycled compliments. You're beautiful. Nice smile. You look amazing. It's background noise, forgettable the moment it's said. But there are other compliments, rare ones, that echo in her mind long after the conversation ends. She replays them when she's alone. She remembers how you said it. And that is where real attraction begins, not in the moment, but in the memory. Because genuine compliments aren't about flattering her appearance. They're about revealing something she didn't know anyone could notice. Women don't fall for praise, they fall for recognition. When you notice what others ignore, you don't just get her attention, you earn her emotion. And once that door opens, she won't look at you the same way again. But before a single word leaves your mouth, understand this. Women are emotional detectors. They pick up on their intentions instantly. If you compliment her, she'll hear the performance. If you seek approval, she'll sense the neediness. But if you truly observe something real, subtle, maybe even hidden, her defenses don't just lower, they disappear. So imagine she's sharing a story about her life, her ambitions, or a moment that shaped her. Most men get distracted by her lips, her hair, her curves. But you pay attention to how she says it, how her voice softens when she cares, how her eyes light up when a memory warms her, how she laughs, not because she's amused, but because she's trying not to show how much it really matters. And when you finally speak, you don't compliment her body, you compliment her spirit. Because here's the secret every man must learn. She doesn't fall for the one who calls her beautiful. She falls for the one who makes her forget she ever doubted she was. 1. Compliment touches identity. A real compliment that makes a woman quietly fall for you doesn't land on her face, her body, or her outfit. It lands on her identity, on the version of herself she thinks no one truly sees. And that is exactly where a high-value man separates himself from every other guy throwing shallow praise around. Picture this. She's talking, laughing, maybe telling a random story she thinks is just small talk, and most men only catch the surface, the words, the joke, the punchline. But you listen past all that and catch the way her eyes soften when she talks about people she cares about, the way her voice changes when something matters to her, and instead of saying, "You're beautiful," for the thousandth time she's heard it, you pause, look at her, and say, "You know what I notice about you? You really care. Even when you don't say anything, you feel things deeply." That is not just a compliment. That is a mirror held up to her soul. Don't underestimate how powerful that is. Every woman walks through life carrying two versions of herself: the public version the world sees and the private version she guards, the softer, more sensitive, sometimes more insecure self that almost no one gets access to. And when you, with calm masculine energy, speak directly to that hidden side, she feels exposed, but in a way that feels safe, exciting, and slightly dangerous all at once. Be the man who sees beyond the obvious. Most guys only react to what is visible, her looks, her style, her body shape, because that's easy. But a high-value man reads emotional cues, not just physical ones. You must understand this. You are not handing out compliments to make her like you. You're creating an emotional experience she didn't see coming. That is what attracts women on a deeper level, far beyond looks or status. When she hears you describe something true about her character, her loyalty, her empathy, her quiet strength, she doesn't just feel flattered. She feels recognized. Human attraction is heavily driven by emotional validation, by the feeling that someone finally notices the part of us we thought was invisible. And for women, especially feminine women, that recognition is intoxicating. She may smile and brush it off in the moment, but later that night, when she's in bed, her mind will replay your words and she'll feel that compliment all over again. She will ask herself, why did that hit so hard? Why did he see that when no one else ever has? And that's exactly how a man with grounded masculine energy starts to live in her thoughts without forcing anything, without chasing. Don't be the man who says what every other man says. Be the one who notices what almost no one notices. Maybe she always checks on others, remembers tiny details, or defends people who aren't even in the room. Instead of a generic, you're so nice, you say, you know what's different about you? You carry people in your mind even when they're not around. You're actually protective. That is precise. That is identity level. That is how you attract women in a way they don't fully understand, but can't walk away from easily. Her brain registers that you're not just looking, you're perceiving. Psychologically, that creates a powerful bond because the moment she feels deeply understood, her defenses relax. When defenses drop, vulnerability shows up, and vulnerability is the doorway to attachment. She starts to compare you, often unconsciously, to every other man in her life, the men who only talk about her looks, the men who interrupt, the men who never truly listen, and you, calmly present, stand out without trying. That's the high value man effect. You don't beg for attention, your awareness commands it. Don't forget the dark psychology twist in this. Once she feels seen, she won't only feel good about what you said, she'll start analyzing how you see her. She'll notice how you listen without rushing, how you ask follow up questions, how you remember something she mentioned a week ago. She'll wonder, why do I feel safe with him and slightly nervous at the same time? Why do I care what he thinks of me? That tension, safety mixed with mystery, is where your masculine energy quietly pulls her in. You must understand that being this kind of man is not about manipulation. It's about awareness. Don't make up qualities just to sound deep. She'll feel that fake energy instantly. Instead, slow down, observe, and be honest. When you do compliment her, keep it simple but specific. You have this calm way of making people feel included. You notice small things most people ignore. You're stronger than you act, and I can tell. Statements like that hit her identity, not her ego. That is what truly attract women who are emotionally mature and tired of being treated like a pretty picture on a screen. And here's the important part for you as a man between 35 and 70. This isn't about being young, rich, or movie star handsome. This is about presence. At your age, you have experience, stories, scars, and lessons. When you bring that into the moment with a woman and use it to really see her, you automatically come across as a high value man. Because high value is not about being perfect, it's about being deeply present and emotionally intelligent. Don't chase her with neediness. Be the steady, grounded man whose words carry weight because they come from a place of genuine perception. That is masculine energy at its finest, calm, observant, and unapologetically confident. When you master this kind of identity-based compliment, you won't have to wonder how to attract women. Your presence will do most of the work long before you ever think about the next move. 2. Complementary intelligence. Admiration for her mind. The second compliment might sound simple, but in the world of psychology tricks and female psychology, it's one of the most powerful ways to answer the question every man secretly asks: how to fall in love. Not with charm, not with shallow flattery, but with respect, respect for her mind. That is the key. This compliment doesn't just create emotion, it builds admiration, and admiration is a magnetic force. Instead of saying, you're smart, say, I like the way you think. Short, sharp, precise. Because that line tells her something that most men overlook. Her mind isn't just useful, it's attractive. It tells her she doesn't just have ideas, she has perspective. It tells her she doesn't just understand the world, she sees it through a lens you actually want to explore. Don't underestimate that. In female psychology, Being seen for intelligence is rare, and rarity creates value. Don't praise the obvious. Every man with eyes can compliment her looks. Be the man who sees what most men never even think to pay attention to. That is one of the most underrated psychology tricks there is. You must understand this. Women are surrounded by men who want their beauty, but very few who actually want their thoughts. And when a woman meets the one man who listens to her ideas without waiting for his turn to speak, she remembers him. When you say, I really like how you process things, you instantly separate yourself from every man who only notices what's visible. In that moment, you become the man who notices what's valuable. And that changes everything. Think about it like this: a woman may receive compliments all week on her looks, yet feel unseen. Then one evening, she's in conversation with you, maybe over coffee, maybe over wine, maybe just standing in line somewhere, and she shares a small opinion. Nothing dramatic. But you don't treat it casually. You say, that's actually an interesting take. I never looked at it that way before. That one sentence feels like oxygen in a world full of noise. She won't just hear it. She'll feel it. Why? Because smart attention is rare, and what is rare becomes emotionally expensive. When a woman feels intellectually desired, she doesn't just talk more. She thinks more clearly. She opens up. She feels powerful around you, not because you admire how she looks, but because you appreciate how she thinks. And in female psychology, power is not dominance. Power is trust. Power is safety. Power is permission to open the doors she normally keeps locked. Here's the psychological twist: a woman is used to being admired physically. That doesn't surprise her. But when she feels chosen for something beyond beauty, for something not every man sees, her emotions attach intensely. Don't mistake this for manipulation. It's not deception. It's awareness. In fact, it's one of the cleanest, most ethical psychology tricks you can use. Respect the quality others ignore. That is how respect turns into connection. Connection into desire. Desire into something she doesn't want to walk away from. That is, quite literally, how to fall in love without forcing anything. Be clear. She doesn't want a debate. She doesn't want a lecture. She doesn't need a teacher. She wants a witness, someone who sees the way her thoughts come alive when she speaks about something that matters to her. That is why this compliment is so magnetic. You're not agreeing with her just to get her approval. You're appreciating the way she sees the world. Every woman has her own mental rhythm, a personal philosophy, an angle on life, and when you notice that rhythm, she doesn't just feel heard, she feels understood. And in female psychology, the moment a woman feels deeply understood, she becomes open to emotional bonding. She doesn't run away, she leans in. Don't be vague. Be specific. Say things like, I like your perspective. You always find the lesson behind the story. Or, I admire the way you can read people. Most can't do that. Or, you connect dots faster than most people even see them. These statements hit her identity, not her vanity. And identity is where attraction lives. Identity is where her heart hides. Identity is where how to fall in love truly begins. That's why your words must carry weight. Don't flatter just to get a response. Speak like a man who pays attention. A man who listens carefully, not desperately. A man who asks questions because he's genuinely curious, not because he's waiting for his turn to talk. And here's the secret almost no one talks about. In relationships, beauty fades, excitement shifts, time changes everything, but admiration is something that can grow. Admiration is something that deepens. Admiration is something that strengthens over time when everything else gets tested. That is why this compliment is not just powerful for attraction, it's powerful for longevity. You're not just learning how to fall in love, you're learning how to stay there. Remember this. Don't try to impress her, try to understand her. Don't chase approval, seek connection. Admiration for her intelligence doesn't mean putting her on a pedestal. It means recognizing her inner value, her original mind, her individual way of perceiving life. And when you compliment that genuinely, with steady confidence, something shifts. To her, you stop being just another man. You become the man who gets her. And in the world of female psychology, that is something she doesn't forget. If this message opened your eyes, don't just scroll, take action. Like this video, share it with a man who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more real psychology tricks that actually work. Now, here's your challenge to interact with the channel. Drop this affirmation in the comments to remember the lesson. I value the way she thinks. Because the man who sees her mind becomes the man she can't forget. 3. Compliment on impact. Men between 35 and 70 must understand one crucial truth. Attraction is not built on compliments about beauty or charm. It is built on impact, and impact is where real connection begins. Don't stumble through life thinking looks are enough. Don't rely on ordinary lines. Use Old Stoic wisdom, build an iron mind, and observe women with the sharpness of a strategist. Psychology shows that a woman's deepest need is not to be admired, but to be understood. Socrates said, "To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom." But when you help a woman know herself more deeply, when she sees herself differently because of your words, that is when Stoicism wins. Compliment her impact, not her appearance. Look her in the eye, not dramatically, but with quiet certainty, and say, "You know what's crazy? You change the energy of a room without even trying." That statement is powerful because it's not about how she looks, it's about who she is. Most women, even the stunning ones, walk through life feeling replaceable, unnoticed, unsure if they truly matter. Modern life moves too fast. Social media noise makes everyone feel like a copy. But when you point out her presence, her effect on the world, her mind awakens. She begins to think not about how she looks, but who she becomes around you. That shift is psychological gold. Carl Jung said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." When you recognize her impact, she associates that transformation with your voice, your presence, and that begins emotional gravity. Her confidence starts linking to you. The world's attention becomes less interesting because now she wants attention from the man who truly sees her. That is power. That is strategy. That is Old Stoic wisdom applied to modern dating. Don't chase. Don't admire loudly. Observe deeply. Head held high, iron mind, steady tone. Women don't fall for compliments. They fall for the rare man capable of giving the compliment that touches a part of her she never speaks about. When your words are intelligent, precise, and calm, it makes you appear intelligent, precise, and calm. She begins watching how you talk to others. She studies your timing, your patience, your silence. You become the man who doesn't need to impress her because you already understand her. You must act like a man with purpose, a man guided by old Stoic wisdom, not fleeting emotion. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Don't beg for attention. Don't talk too much. Let your presence speak first. Let your words land slowly and intentionally." The compliment on impact is not casual, it is surgical. It makes her feel seen in a world that rarely looks beyond the surface. In modern times, where dating apps reduce humans to pixels, being truly seen is a rare luxury. When you give her that experience, she remembers you. She may forget your compliments, but she will never forget the man who made her feel significant. That is why this strategy works for men aged 35 to 70, because maturity can be an advantage if used with confidence. You must embody stability. You must embody clarity. You must speak like a man who knows where he stands. Use short sentences. Use silence. Let her feel your certainty. That is Stoicism win. Don't be needy. Don't explain yourself. Don't ramble. Let her see that your validation comes from within, a true iron mind. Modern women are not looking for boys. They are looking for presence. They are looking for calm strength. They are looking for leaders, not performers. The man who understands impact understands influence, and influence is irresistible. When she begins to associate confidence with your voice, psychology takes control. Attraction becomes deeper, more silent, more powerful. She begins to ask herself, "Why do I feel different around him?" And that is exactly where you want her mind to go. Not thinking about your looks, not evaluating your status, but questioning her own mind when she is around you. That is how emotional connection begins. That is how loyalty is born. Don't just talk about admiration. Talk about presence. Don't say she looks beautiful. Say she changes the atmosphere. Don't chase her attention. Create gravity. Let your words work slowly, invisibly, like time. Let her realize, without explanation, that when you speak, she evolves. That is not flirting. That is not charm. That is strategy. That is psychological precision. And in the end, as Hemingway said, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. Be the reason she discovers her stronger place. Be the man of old Stoic wisdom, the man with a calm energy, the iron mind, the man whose impact transforms others. Don't just live, lead. Don't just hope, act. Attraction is not luck. Attraction is discipline. That is where real victory begins. 4. Compliment her courage, the strength she rarely gets credit for. Most men think compliments are just sugar on top, but the truth is, they're your secret weapon when used with masculine energy and intention. A high-value man doesn't just hand out praise like candy, he sees what others miss. Complimenting a woman's courage is one of the most powerful psychology tricks to attract women because it goes far deeper than looks, style, or success. Beauty gets noticed, but bravery gets remembered. Don't just tell her she's pretty, every random guy does that. Be different. Be the kind of man who witnesses her strength when life tries to break her. Watch her when she's tired, but still shows up, when she's anxious, but still smiles, when something hurts her, but she still moves forward. Those are the moments her heart is silently asking, "Does anyone see what I'm carrying?" That is when you step in. Look her straight in the eyes and say, "I respect how composed you stay when things get tough." Most people panic, but you stay centered. That takes real courage. That's not sweet talk. That's recognition. And recognition is oxygen for a woman who usually has to act strong without anyone noticing. You must understand, a strong woman rarely asks for support, yet carries heavy emotional weight every single day. She has storms inside her mind that no one hears about. She might hold back tears so her family doesn't worry. She might stay calm in an argument when her heart is racing. She might comfort others while quietly falling apart herself. Society calls her independent, but independence doesn't mean life is easy. It just means she learned to fight alone. And that is exactly why your words matter. When you recognize her courage, you don't just speak to her ears, you speak to her soul. That is genuine masculine energy, the kind that makes a woman feel safe enough to open up. Don't underestimate that moment, because it can shift the entire dynamic between you. Your compliment tells her, "I see your effort. I see your strength. You're not alone." Suddenly, you're not just a man at the table, you're a man who understands her silent battles. A high-value man doesn't compete for attention, he creates presence. He makes her feel seen in ways others never have. That's how you attract women, not through tricks or flashy words, but through awareness. Women fall for clarity, not confusion. They fall for direction, not hesitation. They fall for the man who recognizes depth, not just the surface. So don't rush your compliments. Don't compliment everything, compliment the meaningful. The way she controlled her reaction when she could have exploded. The way she kept her voice calm when she was frustrated. The way she still smiles even though she didn't sleep well. The way she supports others when she barely has energy herself. That is resilience. That is emotional strength. That is courage rarely praised, deeply valuable. You must train your eyes to notice these things because women won't announce them. They won't tell you they're struggling. They won't admit they're scared. They'll simply keep going and hope someone appreciates it. Your job, as a high-value man, is to be that someone. Recognition builds connection. Connection builds trust. Trust builds attraction. Complimenting her courage isn't flirty, it's profound. It's saying, "I see who you really are and I respect it." Don't just be nice. Be intentional. Don't flatter, witness. Don't chase, stand strong. Your masculine energy speaks louder when your words are precise and your presence is steady. A woman doesn't want a man who tries to fix everything. She wants a man who understands her strength and still chooses to stand beside her. She doesn't need rescue. She needs recognition. That is the key. That is how you attract women on a deeper level. And when she realizes you are the one person who not only admires her beauty, but also honors her bravery, something powerful shifts. Her guard lowers, her eyes soften, her heart listens. Because courage is a lonely path, and the one who sees it earns a place in her story. So, next time you want to say something meaningful, don't comment on her dress, recognize her discipline. Don't just praise her smile, praise her resilience. Tell her not everyone could handle what you handle, and I respect that. Do it calmly. Do it sincerely. Do it confidently. That is the language of a high value man. That is how masculine energy turns words into impact. That is psychology in motion. And that might be the moment she truly starts to fall for you. If this opened your eyes, drop a like, share it with a friend, and make sure you subscribe for more powerful insights on becoming a high value man and understanding feminine psychology. Real masculine energy isn't loud, it's aware. The kind of awareness that recognizes strength when others only see appearance. Comment to remember, I recognize strength in silence. That single sentence reminds you to see beyond beauty, to notice courage, resilience, and emotional control. That is the mindset of a high value man. Now comment it below to lock it into your mind and join the conversation. 5. Compliment her ability to make others feel valued. Most men think attraction comes from flashy words or smooth lines, but real connection is built through awareness. If you want to understand how to fall in love and make a woman remember you, don't just compliment her looks. Use psychology tricks that speak to the heart, not the surface. One of the most underrated keys in female psychology is this: women often carry the quiet gift of making others feel valued, and almost nobody recognizes it. That is where you step in. That is where you stand apart. In your age, 35, 45, 60, wisdom must become your sharpest tool. Don't be loud. Be observant. Here's a psychological trick almost no one uses. Watch how she speaks to people. Maybe she remembers someone's birthday. Maybe she listens without interrupting. Maybe she remembers small details about someone's life when everyone else forgot. That's not random. That's emotional intelligence in motion. Tell her, I've noticed when you talk to someone, they walk away feeling more important. You make people feel heard. That's rare. Say it calmly. Say it with intent. That one sentence goes straight to the core of female psychology because it recognizes value, not beauty. Most compliments target the outside. Yours must reach the soul. A man who sees her social impact is not average. He is intentional. He has an iron mind that spots what others miss. That is subtle power. That is presence. That is how to fall in love, not by chasing, but by recognizing. In this modern world, everyone wants to talk, but very few know how to listen. Most people wait for their turn to speak. However, she makes others feel heard. That is leadership disguised as kindness. Don't overlook it. Notice how she leans forward when someone speaks. Notice how she asks follow-up questions. Notice how people open up around her. This is more than politeness. This is influence. This is emotional gravity. Compliment that, and female psychology responds instantly. Because every woman secretly wonders if someone sees her quiet effort. You must be the one who does. That is one of the most powerful psychology tricks you'll ever use. Women don't want a man who only sees their beauty. They want a man who notices their impact. The man who calls out her strength, not just her appearance, becomes unforgettable. Picture this. Two men approach her. One tells her she's beautiful. The other tells her, I've noticed people trust you after just one conversation. That's powerful. Who do you think she remembers? The second man. Every time. Because that compliment is rooted in awareness. In female psychology, attention equals attraction. When she realizes you see beyond her appearance, she begins to feel safe around you. And when a woman feels safe, that's exactly how to fall in love. Not with tricks, not with games, but with emotional precision. Don't underestimate this. Making people feel valued is a leadership trait. It's the kind of quality CEOs pay thousands of dollars to learn. Yet many women naturally do it, and rarely receive credit. Tell her that not everyone can do what she does. Tell her that you see how people talk differently when she is the one listening. Tell her that many try but few succeed. That's the key. That is recognition, not flattery. And recognition is the deepest form of connection. This is not sweet talk. This is psychological mastery. When you give this type of compliment, her mind pauses because she realizes you're not like the rest. You're not chasing her, you're understanding her. That is one of the greatest psychology tricks you can ever learn. Don't compliment everything. Be precise. Compliment impact. Compliment her ability to remember details, to make people feel important, to bring calm into conversation. These aren't just habits. They're traits of influence. They are traits that define her character. And female psychology is wired to remember the man who sees character, not just appearance. Say it with confidence. Most people don't know how to listen, but you make people feel valued. That's powerful. It might sound simple, but it's rare. And rarity is what creates attraction. You must become the man who notices what others ignore. You must see invisible qualities. You must develop emotional awareness. That is how to fall in love with depth, not just desire. Women don't truly want to be chased, they want to be understood. And when she realizes you understand her impact, she begins to see with new eyes. That is a subtle power. That is Stoicism at work. That is the kind of presence that makes a woman think about you long after the conversation ends. So don't play it safe. Don't speak like every other man. Speak with intention. Notice the details. Recognize her ability to uplift others, and she will start looking at you differently. That is the connection. That is an influence. That is love, built through quiet strength and sharp observation. And that is how you use psychology tricks like a true gentleman who understands female psychology, not to manipulate, but to genuinely connect. Use this wisely. It may be the sentence that changes everything. 6. Compliment the values she represents, not just how she lives. A real man doesn't just see beauty, he sees depth. Don't fall into the lazy habit of praising a woman with generic words like nice, cute, or fun. Those are crumbs. You must offer substance. Compliment the values she stands for, the invisible compass that guides her decisions, her sacrifices, her quiet strength. When you speak to those values, you speak to her core. Say things like, I can tell you don't abandon your beliefs just to fit in. That takes courage. Or, I see how loyal you are. That kind of integrity isn't common anymore. That's not flattery. That's respect. And respect is the doorway to loyalty, attraction, and emotional gravity. As Viktor Frankl famously said, those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. That line holds the secret. When you acknowledge a woman's why, you don't just compliment her, you validate her reason for existing. In a world full of noise, someone who sees the why becomes unforgettable. That is how a mature man operates, with old Stoic wisdom, with calm strength, with an iron mind. Stop chasing surface-level conversation and start recognizing what truly shapes a person. In modern life, everyone is hungry to be seen, but few know how to look deeply. Don't be one of the blind. Speak to her principles. Speak to what she fights for. Speak to what she refuses to compromise. Let the world obsess over appearance. You focus on character. That is how Stoicism wins in relationships, in business, in life. Let others chase temporary pleasures. You must seek permanent value. Women notice when you move differently. They can feel when a man's interest is not desperation, but observation. Not approval, but insight. That difference changes everything. Because in today's world, true character is rare, and rare things become powerful magnets. So learn to point it out. Learn to call it forward. Learn to honor it. As Marcus Aurelius, one of the masters of Old Stoic wisdom, declared, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Apply that same principle to how you speak. Don't merely label her as pretty or kind. Recognize the spirit within her that demands respect. Women fall for men who challenge their thinking, sharpen their strength, and awaken their purpose. Never underestimate this. Don't compliment to gain approval. Compliment to reveal truth. That is how you project an iron mind, steady, disciplined, unshakable. That is how Stoicism win in the arena of human connection. And make no mistake, she will feel the difference immediately. The average man flatters the surface. The wise man speaks to the soul. The average man wants attention. The wise man commands presence. The average man fears rejection. The wise man understands that clarity is more valuable than comfort. You must aim to become that man. You must train your perception. You must develop emotional precision. Because when you speak with focused intent, you form a psychological bond that shallow words can never touch. Let your words act like a mirror that shows her the best within herself. Let her realize that you respect her discipline, her loyalty, her resilience, her integrity. Those are the foundations of a strong life, and a strong woman wants a man who understands strength. Don't just say you're kind. Say, I see how consistently you show up for the people you care about. That kind of loyalty takes discipline. Most people don't have that anymore. That sentence alone separates you from 90% of men. That sentence communicates presence, honesty, depth. Use it. Own it. Master it. Because the moment she feels that you're not guessing, but truly seeing, she starts to trust your judgment. And trust is a rare currency in the modern world. In a society obsessed with quick pleasure, you must become the man who stands out by being deeply grounded. That is what Old Stoic wisdom teaches, that strength is calm, that attraction is focus, and that power is restraint. Develop an iron mind. Think clearly. Speak boldly. Compliment her values as if they matter, because they do. Don't underestimate the influence of a well-placed sentence. Words shape perception. Perception builds emotion. Emotion drives connection. And connection, true connection, is everything. That's how Stoicism win in life and love. That's how a real man communicates. So step forward with purpose, speak with courage, and let your compliments reflect your character. Be decisive. Be sharp. Be authentic. And above all, be the man whose words awaken strength in others. That is how you master this game. That is how you win. And that's the key most people overlook. Real attraction doesn't come from trying to impress someone. It comes from truly seeing them. So before you go out there and try to use these compliments, don't focus on sounding clever. Focus on being present. Notice the person in front of you. Listen more. Pay attention more. Because when your words come from honesty, they don't just reach her ears, they reach her heart. And remember, confidence doesn't mean being loud. Confidence means being real. So take these insights, use them wisely, and let them guide your conversations. When your intentions are sincere, your words will have power. Now, let's wrap up with something important. And here's the part most men never realize. Real attraction doesn't begin when she smiles at your compliment. It begins when she thinks about it later. When she's driving home, when she's lying in bed, when she's replaying your voice without meaning to. The mind attaches to what it can't explain. When she can't figure out how you notice something about her no one else sees, she starts to crave the answer, and the answer is you. That's how emotional connection becomes attraction. That's how attraction becomes desire. And that's how desire becomes something stronger, something she can't control, even if she wants to. But there's one thing every man must understand. These compliments only work if you mean them. If you say them without emotion, they fall flat. If you say them to manipulate, she'll feel the lie. But if you say them with presence, attention, and truth, you won't just impress her, you'll change her. Because the most powerful compliment is the one that reveals a part of her she didn't know was visible. And once a woman realizes you can see her, she'll want to see you too. And if you really think about it, the reason these compliments work isn't because they're clever or poetic or beautifully phrased. It's because they tell a woman something she rarely hears in this world. I see you. Not the makeup, not the smile, not the surface, but the truth beneath it. Most men chase a woman's attention. A rare man earns her trust, and the rarest earns a place in her mind. If you notice her presence, her impact, her depth, her strength, her softness, she will feel that and she will remember it. Because women don't fall for men who want their bodies. They fall for men who touch their emotions. Compliments that reach her mind, change her thoughts, compliments that reach her heart, change her feelings, but compliments that reach her soul, change the way she sees you forever. If this video helped you understand attraction on a deeper level, then don't just watch and leave. Subscribe to Psychology of Desire because here you don't learn tricks, you learn the emotional science of human connection. And the next video could be the one that changes everything for you. So stay curious, stay patient, and remember, the right words don't just make her smile, the right words make her fall. Thanks for watching. Until next time.